falling into focus. I was so eager to please, feeling like it's hopeless. I'm looking for release. I don't want your desire, I just wanna be free. I don't want your desire, I just wanna be free. I don't want your desire, I just wanna be free. I don't want
Here we go. Welcome to the Cam Show Live with your host Anson, aka Cam. This is a special presentation. I do not know what's about to go down, but we're going to get to it right now. About 4 minutes and counting. Xbox Gamescom 2021 presentation, Xbox live stream. Don't know how long it's going to be. It's probably going to be like a few seconds. Never know. Sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, sometimes 2 hours. Just depends. This was going over the expectations of what Xbox exclusive and some third-party games will be going on right now. And where we at, basically. I want to see Halo Infinite. Basically. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Kind of want to be there. So, let's see what's just going on. Let's see exactly what's going down. Got 3 minutes. Question is this: what would you want to see or hear about Xbox talking about? The most powerful system, most powerful console there is. Yes, the most powerful console.
All systems go, Michael.
What are we going to be doing now? What is the exact game that you're looking forward to? Let me know if in chat. Go from there. We'll see But welcome. So, we got what, two minutes? Almost a little less than 3 minutes, basically. I'm kind of looking forward. I mean, some new stuff, of course, but I also know there's a lot of exclusive games that could be going on. There's a lot of exclusive stuff that Xbox has, and they kind of like lost. What's the best way to say it? They kind of like, they don't say as much as you want them to say, but they're there. I don't know, it's like Gears. Okay, I'm not saying you have a Gears 6, but I wouldn't mind. But I get it. You got a lot of Gears right now. Got a lot of Gears. Don't rush it. Gears Tactics, you got Gears. Bunch of Gears. Come on, Jenny V, how you doing? Welcome. So, minute and a half and counting. I'm gonna be here. I'll be here. I'm gonna be kind of like in the background, do some stuff taking care of while this happens, while we watch this. So, I'll be back from right here, but not here. Exactly here. That's all I'm saying. Alright. Let's get in this. I'm hoping. Go from there. Alright, we got a minute. Let's go ahead and jump. This is also that y'all know, this year, if y'all didn't know, is the 20-year anniversary of Xbox. If you didn't know that already, just saying. I'm just glad I was able to get my hands on a Series X this year, which is good. This is the 20th. Makes sense. Let's go down. Starts in 20 seconds and counting. Let's get in there now. See what's going on. What do you have for us now? Let's go.
Auf Sie wiederzusehen.
Flight Simulator? Yeah, I think it's good. I just haven't learned
Hello everyone and welcome to our Gamescom 2021 Xbox stream.
We've got so many great game updates to share with you today. We're talking Age of Empires 4, Psychonauts 2, and my personal favorite, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Later on, we'll take an extended look at Forza Horizon 5. There's so much going into this, and Playground Games' vision of Mexico is muy bonito.
And we'll be getting our first look at the cover car for the game, Paris. I got $5 on it being one of those electric scooters that you see piled up on the sidewalk.
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep dive into current and upcoming games all week on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Let's get started with Techland and their upcoming zombie parkour sequel, Dying Light 2: Stay Human.
Hello, I am Timon Smektawa, Dying Light 2 lead game designer, and this is David Lubryka, animation director. Hi. We can't wait until December 7th to finally give you Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the game
Cam
we have been working on really hard
Dying
for
Light
the
on
last
Xbox.
few years.
We're hoping the gameplay video you're about to watch will give you a foretaste of parkour and combat systems waiting for you in the game.
And we are just about to enter the city, fighting our way through its brutal and dangerous streets. Though, as you will see in a moment, there are plenty of things you can use to your advantage. So watch closely, look for special combat and parkour moves, and check out how with just a bit of creativity you can combine the two. Ready? Let's go!
Sometimes I wonder what this city looked like before all this. Probably like many others. People had their ambitions, plans, lives. Now it's all gone. The virus started it, but it was the people who made the world the way it is. This city, Villador. They tell me they had a vision. They had hope. But soon, one vision broke into many different ones.
Oh god, I gotta see this.
Instead of fighting together, people stood against each other. War broke out.
Was it a little bird met a broken leg?
Hope died. Now the city is falling.
Each time we strike down an enemy, we absorb their strength.
But I can't let that happen. At least, not yet. I need the secrets the city holds.
Fuck! Hey! Still some rats here!
I have to pick a side.
The Bazaar needs good people.
You're doing great so far.
I have to make a difference.
Let's check and see.
They say that great change is a series of small gestures. How about this series? Is all hope really gone? We'll see about that.
Well, that was an exciting trip, wasn't it, Timon? Did you notice those bandits in medieval-like armor passing by skyscrapers, banks, and large billboards? That's what we call a modern Dark Ages.
And it's a very unique design, one very important for the plot of Dying Light 2. But there's another thing that stood out to me, all those parkour moves that you and your team has put so much effort into.
Well, all you need is a few thousand of animations, cooperation with professional tracers, mock-up sessions, and invaluable help from David Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game, by the way.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to the first game, and we are showing some of them in this trailer. The vault kicks being the most important to me personally. It brings a whole new fighting style into the game. The player can stagger an enemy and use them to perform further attacks, for example by rebounding from their bodies, jumping off them onto other foes, and so on.
I think we captured the movement really well and made it quite simple for the players to perform. I can't wait for them to try it out and tell for themselves how much they loved it.
It's definitely going to be useful. The city's buildings are higher than anything we have done before, improving its verticality. Players will need to find a way to reach those tall skyscrapers and other challenging spots too.
Then it's good we scattered some helpers around, like a paraglider, which can support players in both parkouring and combat.
Exactly, and it's gonna do great, especially in fights against humans, which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so people adjusted. They are much bolder now, at least during the day.
And they are more vicious too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2 and explore its vast, complex world on December 7th. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
For the first time in the storied history of the franchise, Microsoft Flight Simulator launched on a home console with the release on Xbox Series X and S last month. Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the stunning visuals and the depth of the simulation translated to the console, and that's why I'm extremely honored to welcome the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator, York Newman, to the stream. York, thank you for being here. The last time we met was at the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was getting ready to come out on consoles. How did that go?
It went great. As you said, the reaction to the Xbox console launch was really just amazing. Both from Xbox gamers and from the press, they've been so gracious with their feedback. I don't know if you know, but Flight Simulator is one of the highest rated games on Xbox this year, which I think is just great validation that the translation of the simulation to the console has really worked well.
Dying Light's the human
our
release
usage
date
numbers are
December
through the
7th.
roof. We are absolutely shattering franchise records, and I can tell you there have never been more people playing Flight Simulator than right now. So it's an awesome time.
That is awesome. Congratulations on the launch, really. But
all right.
I want to go to the danger zone. So what's going on with Top Gun?
There's so much going on, Paris. So you and I talked about Top Gun Maverick earlier. The fans are super excited. They saw the FA-18. They can't wait to start flying. And as you know, it comes out later this year as free DLC alongside the movie.
Microsoft Flight
But as the
Simulator
movie is still
available
under
now
wraps,
on Game Pass
so
right
are
now.
we. So I can still not tell you that much about it. But there's so much else going on even before Maverick. So we are continuing to do our monthly big releases that we've been doing for a long time. And next month, on September 7th, we are launching World Update 6. And this world update, I mean, at the beginning of the show, if you remember, there was a little red plane flying into Cologne. Well, we did that because World Update 6 updates that region, the region of Gamescom. So Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And what that means to us is we have new aerial and satellite images. We have a new elevation map that helps us with the mountains. So the Alps actually look awesome now. We have new 3D cities like Frankfurt and Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel in Switzerland. We have Vienna and Graz in Austria, and those cities look just amazing. They have like 7 centimeters resolution, and it's awesome. But we want to celebrate the entire region, so we picked 100 of the most scenic places, the most famous landmarks, and we call those POIs, and we sort of spread them throughout the simulation, and we also added airports. We did Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany, and Klagenfurt in Austria, and St. Gallen in Switzerland. And what it ties it all together is missions. We're having new discovery flights, we have new landing challenges, and we have new sort of tours of the country. So they fly you around all the awesome looking places and really celebrate the beauty of this region of Earth. And this is a celebration of DACH, of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I'm so happy to be able to announce the date here at Gamescom.
You know, that is really incredible, all the different regions and everything that you're going to have in the game, and the way that you're going to be able to actually highlight those.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. But you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals. We talked a lot when you study aviation, when you love aviation like we do. You actually realize that a lot of regions of Earth have a very special relationship with flying, with aviation. Sometimes it's, you know, the first experiments with aircraft, or a famous pilot, or a feat of aviation, or like a local manufacturer. So we thought to ourselves, why do we not use these world updates to celebrate the planes? So we are announcing a new series. We call them Local Legends. And think about that as planes that are locally well known, like in that region, but outside in the world, not so much.
Yeah.
But why not use the World Updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a worldwide audience? So for World Update 6, we picked a German plane from the 1930s. It's called Junkers U-52. In Germany, it's lovingly named Tante U, so Aunt U. And we think of us as sort of a digital preservation. So we really want to get these planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go deep. So we're doing a full scan. We take full scans of the outside and the inside, as detailed as 1 millimeter, which is as good as you can really do this. And then we're working with, for the Junkers, we worked with Bernd Junkers, who is the grandson of the original creator of the plane, Hugo Junkers. And he's helping us. He had a ton of insight and materials. Then we worked with an organization that is preserving one of the last surviving examples of the Junkers. So they let us scan and take photographs. And then we were lucky that to find a pilot that actually flew one of those planes while it was still flying in the real world. And he lets us know, like, is the cockpit right and the sounds right? Does it feel right in the air? So we're having a blast working with these experts to really to celebrate this plane, to bring them back to life.
So this is almost like you're creating like a digital museum for aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. It's a museum with flyable planes. Yeah. So we're working with 40 museums around the world. And it's honestly one of the funnest parts of the job. You end up working with these curators of planes. These are their babies. And they sort of see the tooth of time in the real world sort of nagging on their remaining planes. And they're so happy when we come in with our scanning equipment and we're basically capturing their planes. And they know that we can digitally preserve them in perpetuity, and we're actually giving those scans back to the museum so they can do something with it. And it's a great collaboration. And we're actually not just looking back in the history of aviation, we're also looking towards the future. So I have another announcement. We are working with a fascinating German company called Volocopter, and they're making an eVTOL air taxi for urban traffic. So they have a vision of the future, how these drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities. We're working directly with the engineering team to make sure that we are capturing their plane and their aircraft perfectly in the flight simulator, and that's coming out in November.
I mean, you weren't kidding when you're saying that there's a lot going on inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to announce that we've partnered with RARA. That's the Reno Air Racing Association. And every year they put on something called the Steel National Championship Air Race. And we're bringing this to Flight Simulator. So this is the fastest motorsport. This is right down your alley. It's the fastest motorsport on Earth. And I actually brought you a little trailer to look at.
So race, speed. We go into the danger zone, baby. Let's go ahead and show that. You know I like going fast, and you know I love being in the danger zone. When is this coming out?
Man, these planes, they fly 500 miles, faster than 500 miles an hour, 50 to 250 feet above the ground. So you are definitely going to be in the danger zone. I mean, without going into too much detail, this Reno Air Race is actually the largest expansion we have since we launched on Flight Simulator. It's not just because we scanned all the famous race planes of the world. There's lots of them. This is also the first time when you can basically race against your friends and pilots across the planet. And so a competitive multiplayer is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is it coming out? This is coming out this fall, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, that is fantastic. And you know I have the need for speed, so I can't wait to get my hands on this and participate in some of these air races.
Awesome, man. We got you covered.
Yeah, all right, thank you. If going fast on the ground is more your speed, keep an eye out for an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 later on in the stream. We'll also talk with Wasteland 3's game director about the game's next big DLC. But first, if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, we have some great news for you.
Cam said, Microsoft Flight Simulator DLC World Update available on September 7th. Reno Air Race available this fall 2021.
Build a weapon, one that blows the world away. Build a rocket that'll come and take away us all. Gonna come back, I am coming back in a day. Build a weapon that'll turn us into newborns again. Build a weapon, one that blows the world away. Build a rocket that'll come and take away us all. Gonna come back, I am coming back in a day. Build a weapon that'll turn us into newborns again.
Yep, somehow they did it. They added even more games to Game Pass. But let's talk about what's coming up. We're talking Age of Empires 4, the game's creative director.
Said,
and we're going to see what's next
Game
for
Pass
Sea
Games
of Thieves.
Midnight Fight
But
Express
now,
Dodgeball
we've got a new
Academia I am
roguelike
interested
retro
in.
shooter that in grand retro fashion sends you plundering through shifting dungeons to defeat a mysterious eldritch terror. Let's dive into the pit.
Cam said, next.
Well, I am here with creative director of World's Edge, Adam Eisgreen. And Adam, I'm so excited to talk Age 4, of course, because you've brought something a little different and very special today.
Yeah, I have. So, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what Age looks like from in the game, when you're playing it. You've gotten to see a lot of footage of that. And we've also shown a little bit of our campaigns, right, through when we unveiled the 100 Years War and showed Joan of Arc. But we have yet another way in Age of Empires 4 that we're kind of bringing history to life that we haven't talked about yet.
You put me in suspense. I want to know more, so let's go with it. Let's hear more.
Okay, wait, you get one moment of suspense. Okay, that's enough. So what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign, and they're about 3 to 5 minutes each. And we have over an hour of them total, and they're called Hands-on Histories. And what they are is a great way to deep dive on certain fun subjects from the cultures we're representing and just from medieval history.
Thanks, Daddy.
Well, I hear you've actually brought one of those segments that you're going to share here for the very first time.
Yes, I have. We are going to show you the segment on one of the most popular units from Age of Empires franchise and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
Excellent. Well, this I got to see. Let's take a look.
A counterweight trebuchet was the king of all siege engines. A catapult capable of smashing down castle walls from great distances. At Warwick Castle in England, they've built a replica, one of the largest in the world.
Said, no problem at all,
Originating
big
in
dog.
7th century China, by the 13th century, trebuchets had evolved into devastatingly powerful weapons.
Such a simple design, but so effective.
It has several key features. A pivoted arm with a weight at one end, and a sling to hold the projectile at the other. To prime, the 6-ton weight is raised using tread wheels.
So this is one of the wheels, one of 2 that's attached to an axle, which would lift the counterweight, weighing 6 tons. It's based on muscle power alone. What's essential about launching a projectile as far as possible is making sure that this end of the arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point of the arm moving at its highest velocity.
This was done by positioning the pivot close to the counterweight and by launching the projectile from a sling. When released, the sling whips round, vastly increasing the launch speed. Trebuchets were carefully aimed, like modern guns.
In order to weaken the castle walls or even breach them, you had to make sure that the projectiles hit the same spot every single time.
For each projectile to follow the same trajectory, they all had to be the same weight and shape. To achieve this, masons used a gauge.
Now I'm going to load this projectile into the sling. This one must weigh about 25 kilograms, but some projectiles can get up to 150 kilograms. That's the weight of 2 men.
Trebuchets were also used to throw burning tar, beehives, even dead bodies. Anything to cause maximum distress to the enemy.
Did you hear that whoosh?
It was the counterweight trebuchet's lethal combination of power and accuracy that made it the ultimate medieval siege weapon.
I'm going to say trebuchet. Don't care, because that is awesome and remarkably unique, something you don't see in games very often.
Yeah, so one of the things when we were looking at what we were going to do with Age of Empires 4, there's a phrase I'm really fond of, which is history is only as interesting as the people who taught it to you. And, You could say that about any subject, really, right? But I think the great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic and passionate about history, it really comes across. And we wanted to be that kind of teacher for history.
Said, Age of Empires 4 release date
There's a phrase
October what?
called humanized history that I use to kind of describe what we tried to do, which is we tried to like connect past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well, where we've got like real stuff with like CG kind of overlaid to show you the history. And so for these, we really wanted to do that same thing. So ourselves and Relic partnered with this amazing group in the UK called Lion TV, and they've done production on an amazing amount of shows and documentaries for the BBC and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations in all these different countries to meet with these subject matter experts and get all of this great footage on how things really worked and how things were made. And it's been delightful to kind of go through that process and get all these and finally start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also, of course, you've got a bunch, as you mentioned, of these hands-on history segments. Anything else that you can tell us fans about what we can expect, looking forward to? Any favorites you got coming
just Sony?
Oh, well, favorites. Oh, man. Well, I think my personal favorite is one called Medieval Surgery. Okay. And I'm going to let your imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in that one.
I have
But
both
the thing
myself.
I love about them is that they go all over the place. So, we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when she shot them. And but we've also got all of these ones on, like illuminated history and falconing and like horse taming, armor creation, and there's even one on Mongolian instrumentation, which is really cool because those instruments we actually use them in the soundtrack for the Mongols when you're playing as them in the campaign, in the game.
I mean, I just love the behemoth amount of history that you guys. Age of Empires always known for bringing history alive in a completely different way, and I also love to mention this to people that you and the team do so much research, and it's so great to see this approach being used in a hands-on history kind of segment. But I mean, what was that approach like to sort of sell going forward, especially since it's such a unique in-game experience?
Well, the cool thing was it was there from day one. It was one of the things I was really wanted to do is try to tell these stories in a different way. But I'll tell you, like full disclosure, it's been insanely nerve-wracking because we're trying something completely different that no one's ever done before in a game, right? We're history, but we're a game, but we're teaching you things, but you're having fun.
Is the best console
finding that middle ground has been
buck.
really challenging. And every time we've tried to we've shown the campaigns or we've shown these hands-on histories, I've been like, oh God, it's gonna work? Like, people are going to like this. And the great thing is so far, everyone that's really experienced the entire thing put together have just been like, wow, this is great. And it's so different and kind of cool and refreshing. So, so far so good, right? But yeah, it's been a journey, to get all this done and put the whole game together.
Well, I love that you mentioned journey because we are coming towards the end of this development journey for Age 4. Talk to me about where people can find and learn more about Age of Empires 4. I know they're all chomping at the bit.
Oh, well, October 28th, we are launching the game. You can go to ageofempires.com to learn more about the title. And if you're really, really excited, right now, you can go onto the Microsoft Store or Steam, pre-order the game right now. And of course, we will be there day one, Xbox Game Pass for PC as well. So anyone that's on that can just grab the game and start playing. But
yes, I believe you are a part of something very special.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night live.
Yes.
11 a.m. Pacific time. There might be something Age of Empires related in there, so if you're a fan, you probably should tune in.
Oh, a bit of a tease from Mr. Ice Green.
Maybe.
And I like it very much. Adam, thank you so much for joining us here.
Always a pleasure, Kate.
Always a pleasure. Age of Empires 4 looks fantastic, so I cannot wait. October 28th, neither should you. Now, we have tons coming up here today, including a new update for State of Decay 2 and an exciting look at Forza Horizon 5 with our friends at Playground Games. But now,
I love
let's catch up
Sony.
with Perry, who's gone from flying the skies in Microsoft Flight Sim to a different kind of cloud.
That's right, Kate. Xbox Cloud Gaming is already available on Windows PCs, mobile phones, and tablets. And now, it's coming to Xbox consoles. The future with cloud gaming sounds bright. No waiting to install,
Age of Empires
no running out of hard drive space,
October 28th,
no waiting
also
to patch,
for Game Pass.
and no buying a new console just to play with your friends. See how the vision of cloud gaming will bring people together without barriers.
So when I think about cloud and when I think about gaming, those two things together to me really show you the future where you can pick up something and you can play it anywhere and you could do it quickly.
Cam said, cloud gaming.
Cloud gaming is phenomenal.
That's pretty great. I mean, that's pretty
Cam
awesome.
This actually looks so good. How can we do cloud gaming with Sony?
Games are large and you want to keep the ones that you know you love on your hard drive. Xbox Cloud Gaming is about being able to discover the new ones right away. It's super exciting that for our Game Pass Ultimate members, they will get to experience Xbox Cloud Gaming on whatever console they have.
Cloud gaming is really about looking at how people play differently. I know me in particular, sometimes I just have 20 minutes.
Daddy
It should be as easy as finding the game that you look for on your console and just jumping right in.
We're targeting 1080p at 60 frames per second.
What's crazy about this is like the latency. This is the kind of stuff you need in cloud gaming.
Oh, 60 frames? That's actually very smooth.
They say it is cloud gaming, but
The
it really
process
is
itself to get
SNT.
into cloud gaming feels like you're playing on console, right? You go, you find the game you want, you press play.
It's so easy nowadays. You can pick up any device and pretty much play any Xbox game on Game Pass.
If my friends have titles that I don't have yet, I can just wait for them to send me an invite. It makes
Cam
content just
said
so much more
You
accessible.
can do this right now without a console on your Android
I really
phone.
love the flexibility. It's awesome.
Everything that Xbox is doing right now is just getting rid of the limits of having to be on a specific platform or a specific console. Play on PC and mobile, and now on Gen 8.
Yeah, Gen 8 consoles can play Gen 9 content.
Cam
Isn't that so cool?
With
It is
cloud,
cloud gaming and you
we
can
have
play
the
this
ability,
on your
because you are
Android
connecting
TV
to
now.
consoles that are in our data centers, to allow the Gen 8 customers, the Xbox One customers, to play games
Daddy
that their hardware wouldn't
DOTTV
have been able to play
said,
without it.
There's
If I
so much
have an
opportunity
iPhone,
when it
Lolland,
comes to
that
thinking
is
about
way
how we
too
can make
litty.
content more readily available and let people play where they want to. Sign me up. I'm ready for cloud gaming right now. Let's do it. When's the release date? When does it release?
August 9th saw the release of the free optimized update for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice on the Xbox Series S and X. With beautiful and rich visuals, thanks to the addition of ray tracing and improved materials alongside performance updates, this is the perfect opportunity to relive Senua's journey or experience it for the first time. And if you haven't played this, do yourself a favor, grab a pair of headphones and immerse yourself into this world.
Agreed. Speaking of unique experiences on Game Pass, the Xbox Plays team will be taking a look at some ID at Xbox titles over the next few days, including 12 Minutes and The Big Con.
They're also talking with developers from Halo,
Daddy
the Master Chief
DOTTV
Collection, Forza Horizon
said,
5, and
Xbox
Destiny 2.
might have a
So
new
join the live
customer,
Q&A
however,
to
their
get your
online
burning questions
community
answered.
is very
you can
toxic.
catch all of those streams on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 5, don't forget our friends at Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That includes never-before-seen areas of the game map, plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before. I've loved everything
Cam
I've seen of Forza
said,
Horizon 5 so
same as
far,
PlayStation,
and
I am
can't
a part
wait.
of both.
Now, Kate, there's more games to check out, right?
Well, right you are, Paris. Let's talk Wasteland 3. Their newest DLC introduces us to a new cult. The Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Cam said, laughing out loud.
Detonation is life. Deep within Cheyenne Mountain, we've changed. Devolved into the mutations you see before you.
Cam said, I understand
Set
what
on
you
a
mean well.
righteous path. The holy detonation's life-giving glow should be shared with everyone. May the light of the holy detonation purify you. Join us, Rangers.
With new patches, bug fixes, and added features, like a fine wine, Wasteland 3 just gets better with age to really savor the game's bouquet. we're talking with In Exile game director David Rogers. David, thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks.
So in the trailer, we saw that the DLC is coming out on October 5th, but we know, In Exile Wasteland 3, you guys have been working on this for a very long time. So can you kind of talk about that journey?
Yeah, our dev team has been working nonstop, full tilt, trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version of itself it could be. Over the past year since it's released, we've added features, we've balanced, we've listened to the community, we've fixed bugs, added stability, and I really think that the version that we have now is the absolute best version of the game, and if you've never played it before, now's an awesome time to jump in.
Well, congratulations on everything that you've been doing with Wasteland 3. Now, this DLC is called The Cult of the Holy Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit. Tell me what's going to go into this DLC. What should we be excited about?
Right, so you've heard of Cheyenne Mountain, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't, Cheyenne Mountain is this top secret military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter. And so when you hit level 16, an old friend calls you and says, hey, I need your help securing this secret military base and all the secrets within. And as soon as you get there, you find two warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the Holy Detonation, which is this pre-war science experiment that they worship as a god. And, these cultists are insane, they're mutated, they've gone totally mad, and all they want to do is share the holy radiation with you and your entire ranger team. How generous!
Yeah, that sounds a lot cooler than some of the cults I may have joined in the past, but this is typical Wasteland fashion. We're really going to be able to get in there and mix it up, right?
Right. So you and your ranger team insert yourself right smack dab in the middle of their holy war, which, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And this is a Wasteland game, so you decide everything. Choice and consequence is our bread and butter. And so you decide who lives, who dies, who gets screwed over, who takes charge. You're deciding the fate of the cults, the Holy Detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft and mold.
That's awesome. So the last expansion was the Battle of Steeltown, right?
Yeah.
You had giant robots and things like that. So, what are you going to do to actually top something like that from the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted returning players to find something that they could never find in another version or in previous versions of Wasteland 3. And so we built this as a Wasteland style dungeon crawl. And in there you find this awesome mix of mystery, exploration. You're meeting these crazy cultists who have been locked in this pre-war time capsule, and some of the raddest boss battles we have ever been able to build in a Wasteland game.
That's awesome. I want to get back to the crazy cultists, but talk to me about these big boss battles. I want to hear more about that.
Right. So we took the best parts of Wasteland combat and we breathed new life into it with objective-based combat, which are basically super rad boss battles. It's no longer you're huddling in a corner, throwing down turrets, just going on murderous rampages. It's not about killing, it's about getting the job done. And so now combat doesn't end until the mission is over. We send you on proper combat missions. You're in there breaking into prisons, rescuing POWs. You're disrupting these high-tech cultist rituals. You are splitting your fire team and coordinating like you never have had to before. Everyone on your team has a job, and I really think this is going to take old players who know their ranger team like the back of their hands, and it's going to make them scratch their head and really have to rethink how they go about combat and making it new, exciting, and challenging mentally in a way we haven't been able to really do before with just straight up murder combat.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
Right.
What are some of the weird characters we can expect in some of the story encounters we'll see in the game?
Yeah, with Cult of the Holy Detonation, we really got to cut our devs loose and just let them be creative and fun and silly. In Exile's modus operandi is if we're brainstorming and something makes us laugh, we just put it in the game. That's just how we do it, and we pick up the pieces afterwards. Because we want to make something that entertains us, and then we know if we're having fun, our fans are going to have fun along with us. And so we got to explore, really letting you get deep into this weird radiation cult, and let you interact with them and talk with them, and tell stories and maybe even join them. And so for instance, one of the characters you meet, one of the first cultists you meet, is this slathering beast. He's got claws and fangs and spikes jutting out, and he's drooling, but he's the nicest guy in Cheyenne Mountain. You meet him and he's like, hey guys, you should come in here and soak up some of these rads, it'll be great. And he Sherpas you in and lets you meet the whole cult. And another one of my favorites is the Proteus. He's what you get if you took like 20 cultists and you like melted them into a big pile, kind of like I would do this with like a magnifying glass. I would like melt like army guys and like GI Joes into a big pile, and he's wet and sloppy and gross, and he's hard to understand, and he needs a translator supposedly, but he's like your #1 fan. And getting to build like this totally out there wild extreme character was a ton of fun to write for. It's a ton of fun to like explore like what makes this cult tick, and he's an absolute blast. Hell, even some of the weapons that you find in Cheyenne Mountain, they're devolved cultists. Like there's one guy and he kind of devolved into this like vomiting bagpipe creature, and he has this real like kill me vibe about him. But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that let us jackknife between sort of like dark and serious and like goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland really loves to ride. Like, you know, a lot of really important stuff is at stake, but you know, the Wasteland's a pretty bizarre place.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, we talked before, you've been working on Wasteland 3 for a while. There's already expansions that are out there. But say I'm a new player. Say I'm watching this right now and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3. What would you suggest for new players wanting to get into it?
I really
and like I said at the top, like
support.
Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we've put into it over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steeltown, all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland 3. Just download it and play it. And then you can get both expansions with the expansion pass.
That is awesome. Now, to kind of recap this a little bit, we've talked about, you know, spewing pus bags and these weird characters and the cults and the boss battles and all these really cool things that are going to be in Wasteland 3. But please remind everyone before we get out of here, when can you pick up this DLC?
Right, this Work of Passion, it comes out on October 5th. We're really stoked.
That is awesome. So this is the Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Coming October 5th. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Barish. Appreciate it.
All right. In the 3 years since its launch, Sea of Thieves has played host to some incredible crossovers, including unique ship sets inspired by games like Battletoads, State of Decay, Halo, and more. Today, we're excited to announce a brand new special event that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the latest wild crossover heading to Sea of Thieves. Better yet, this event begins tomorrow. So get ready to make some mayhem, and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
Guten Tag, everyone. Really cool to be a part of this all-digital Gamescom event. And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be a part of this as Sea of Thieves? And so we're really excited to reveal that we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands, into Sea of Thieves. And we're giving all of our players a chance to earn it during kind of the Gamescom time period. So it's been really cool to work with the Borderlands team to bring this ship to life, and giving all of our players the chance to earn it as part of this live event that we've cunningly titled Mayhem. You might notice the link. So you can probably guess the kind of activities that are involved, but if you head to Larina at any of the outposts in the Sea of Thieves world, she'll be able to fill you in on the details of what you need to go do to earn the ship set. So we hope everybody gets a chance to take part in this awesome time-limited event. So it starts today, and it runs through to September the 7th. So that's the time period you've got to get your hands on the Mayhem ship set. And I think that's it from me. So, as always, I will see you on the seas.
Hope. It's always been a dangerous world in Trumbull Valley. But now, it's hope that brings us back together.
They reunite
Cam
old friends.
said, Sea of Thieves making
builds
mayhem
new
today to
bonds.
September 7th.
And in the face of a growing threat, hope is the greatest weapon we have. Welcome back to Trumbull Valley.
Well, just like zombies themselves, it seems everything old is new again in State of Decay 2. And we have a guest to walk us through this Undead update. Please join me in welcoming Undead Labs Director of Communications, Wanda Russell. Hello, Wanda. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. It's great to be here. Talk about the Homecoming update releasing on September 1st.
State of Decay
We are
Homecoming
very excited
available
to get this
September
into players'
1st.
hands.
You are indeed. So let's talk about the Homecoming update. Obviously, we are coming back to Trumbull Valley. We were there for Heartland, the update, back in 2019. Talk to me about the differences, and I'll sit right here and listen because you're adorable.
So Heartland is the story mode within the game, but it's a very linear, narrative-driven experience. You know, players couldn't move their communities there. So that's all changed with the Trumbull Valley map. It is the 5th core open world map. It's fully remastered, and it expands into 2 territories that were completely inaccessible in Heartland. So players can return to Trumbull Valley with their communities, start new communities there, and really start exploring everything that the new map has to offer.
So then, would Homecoming be a sequel then to Heartland?
Yeah, exactly right. So the events in Heartland kind of play out. You see what happens in Trumbull Valley. So we think of it as the 3rd part of our Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into Heartland, and now we see what has happened since then and what storylines might be coming to a close. So there is a lot for players to discover, a lot of environmental storytelling to find, and you know, things have changed. So this isn't the Trumbull Valley that players might remember. So that's going to be exciting.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you expand something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content, pun intended. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those things are that players can get in on here now in the expanded Trumbull Valley.
Yes, a ton of new content. In fact, we're doing something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game, including 12 new hats and outfits, 10 new very cool weapons. We've got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement hunters. And on top of that, we are adding the game's 12th bounty pack. So that will be available from the bounty broker across all maps. And I have to say, they are some of the coolest weapons I have ever seen go into the game. I'm so excited for people to find them.
A juggernaut amount of content, and I don't care who sees that second pun of the day. That works out great. Well, let's talk about the State of Decay community, because it's absolutely an integral part to this entire franchise. And State of Decay being on Xbox Game Pass, how has that impacted the community? How has that impacted the game? Talk to me about those.
It's been fantastic, and you know, we have an amazing community. We love them so much. In fact, one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley as a map is because it was one of the most requested features from the community, which also makes it very exciting for us to be able to say, we did it, you get it. And we have a major milestone that we're celebrating. State of Decay 2 has 10 million lifetime players.
10 million lifetime hang your hat on that. I absolutely love that.
Really grateful.
Incredible, amazing news. Congratulations to you and the entire team at Undead Labs, man. Fantastic work. Well, speaking of Xbox Game Pass, let's give me the deets one more time when it comes to the update.
So the update releases September 1st. It's a free update for all State of Decay 2 owners, and it's included with Xbox Game Pass. Happy Homecoming.
I love it. Thank you, Wonder, very much.
My pleasure.
Now we move from Trumbull Valley to the Lost Valley of Akria. This mystical location trades zombies for ancient warrior clans, forgotten temples of long-dead god kings, and a healthy dose of hack and slash. All this awaits in Stray Blade.
In Strayblade, you discover the mystical lost valley of Akria, a world which ranges from overgrown temple ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dudes to stab in blade-to-blade combat. If that weren't enough, you even get a fuzzy little pal to help you out. Between the epic fights and this small guy, there's clearly a lot going on here. So let's hear more from Point Blank Games about Strayblade.
Hello everybody, I'm Leonard Kausch, Game Director at Point Blank Games, and today I will show you Strayblade. Strayblade is an action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer who is exploring the ancient valley of Akria with his companion, a witty wolf named Boji. Unveil the history of the Forgotten Valley, muster the powers of the 3 Akrian metals to restore balance to this war-torn land.
That is the how, as well as the why.
Combat and exploration are the 2 key elements of our game. Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation of enemy attacks with split-second blade-to-blade reactions. It is the high noon of skill-based melee weapon combat. To achieve that, we put our hearts into creating fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishes. You can choose from multiple weapon categories that can be combined to fit your playstyle. Now, let's take a look at the exploration. Akria's colorful world ranges from overgrown city ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. Together with your companion, explore the deepest corners of an ever-changing world bristling with adventure. Every discovery holds treasure. Find rare materials, recipes, weapons, lore pieces, and beautiful places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the world around you. When you die, time keeps moving forward. Enemies killed stay dead, new foes invade camps that you weakened, and when Boji revives you, only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights. We hope you enjoyed the first look at Strayblade, which will be out next year. And keep an eye on our social media channels for more information.
Next up, one of the most unique games finally comes to Xbox.
Yeah, unique. As in, my evil twin murdered 4 of my husbands because they secretly are in love with me. Unique.
In case that didn't tip you off, we're talking about Crusader Kings 3, the medieval grand strategy and role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line from those that will conquer your kingdom, and evil twins apparently.
Yeah. It's coming to Xbox as an adaptation, not a direct port, meaning that the UI and controls have been refined to bring that grand strategy experience to a controller.
Not to mention bringing the grand strategy experience to my comfy living room couch.
We'll all be ruling from our throne room soon enough. Check out Crusader Kings 3, now coming to Xbox consoles.
Said, Strayblade coming in 2022.
My son, we must never forget the crimes committed against us. Your father sought his glorious revenge and failed. He never understood that the greatest wars are won with weddings, not warriors. With daggers, not swords.
Daddy DOTTV said, ILL pull back up later, I have a conference call here.
The real game is played across generations. You see, real strategy requires cunning.
Cam said, okay.
Crusader Kings 3 is wild. You really haven't lived until you've made an 8-year-old the King of England.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes projected into a psychedelic 60s wonderland kind of weird?
Exactly that kind of weird, which means I am so excited for Psychonauts to finally get a sequel. It has been so long.
There really is something special about Psychonauts, isn't it?
There really is indeed. Now, think about this. 2005, when Psychonauts originally came out, was a different time for gaming. Most of the biggest games that year, we're talking Resident Evil 4, Battlefield 2, Call of Duty 2. They were great games, for sure, but they were all big, beefy shooter games.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts had humor, whimsy, and surprisingly heartfelt moments. It was an oasis of color and humanity in an era when games were increasingly turning grimy, dark, and combative.
Not to mention having some deceptively deep character moments.
That's why the original is considered a cult classic.
It has been a long time coming, and it is finally here. Enjoy this long-awaited launch trailer for Psychonauts.
Well, this shouldn't take too long.
With psychic powers, he dives into your mind.
My name is Raz, and I'm the new intern. And today is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
Did you forget everything I taught you about levitation, Rasputin?
I'm not supposed to check out equipment to interns.
You did what? Can we just...
No. Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
All I see is another unruly peasant.
Oh boy.
When man do misfires, turns our world on its side. Only one man can save us. Mind reader. It wouldn't be the first time the Psychonauts underestimated Maligula's power.
Leave it to me.
Well, it's clear I could not be more excited for Psychonauts 2 because I gotta be honest, me and that original game, we got some beef that needs settling. If you know, you know. The meat circus level, it is infamous, it is brutal, it is difficult to say the least. It's the final level of the original game that came out, and I cannot believe I'm doing the math on this one. 16 years ago, Tim Schafer and Lizette Teatree Montgomery. I am definitely dating myself, but you all welcome from Double Fine Productions. Thank you so much for being here. Tim, can you believe it has been 16 years? I almost said 19 years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the first game left off. And even though it has been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans, it meant a lot to them. And so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first game, which we were able to do because we brought back a lot of the same voice actors, and we also have a lot of people on the team here that worked on the first game, as well as bringing on a bunch of new people like Lisette.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style of Wonk that is very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a shirt. I'm in there for it. Let's roll it back a bit. Of course, this can be kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog memes. Am I correct, Tim?
Yeah, that's what's fun about a Psychonauts game is that all the levels are different, just like every person is different, based on their personality. If you could jump into someone's mind, what would it look like in there? What would be the color of the sky, and like who would the monsters be? And in Psychonauts, you get to do that because Raz has the power of astral projection. And when he goes in, he gets to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares and wrestle with their inner demons. And so there's a ton of variety, and there's a lot of anything goes. We can go to any location, we can have any art style, and coming up with new levels for the second game was really fun to do.
Well, I loved it from the first game, certainly. Lizette, let's talk a little bit about how that kind of concept expresses itself in the game world. I mean, Psychonauts 2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game and the unique style as well. So we were really focused on how we could bring forward that style in Wonk and also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons, and I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety in the face?
Well, I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap some panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they're definitely here. And in addition to that, we also have our doubts. And some new enemies. There's our lovely sensor. Also some regrets, some flying regrets. There are a ranged enemy, and they definitely are challenging. Our doubts are our slow, sticky melee enemy. You're also seeing our enabler here. He energizes our whole combat troop. So we have a whole cast that you can battle and fight with.
Including the new bad mood.
Including the bad mood.
Which is
the electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
Now, for those who haven't played the original, available now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way, wink. Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
Raz is, he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills, one being the acrobatic skills he learned growing up in the circus. He can balance on tightropes, jump on trampolines, swing on trapezes, and that helps him navigate and get around to all kinds of interesting places. But he also has this other side to his personality, which is that he's a powerful psychic. So he can levitate objects, he can use telekinesis and pyrokinesis. He has these powers which people might recognize from the first game, as well as 3 new powers for the second game. He has the ability to mentally connect thoughts together, and he can connect 2 thoughts and actually connect 2 thoughts together to solve puzzles and to navigate in this game. He has the power of time bubble, which is just change and slow down how things are moving by changing people's perception of time. And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype, a personality, out of his unconscious mind and bring it into the world that he's in, like a companion in battle or in puzzle solving.
But let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
The bottom.
They're right down at the bottom.
Yeah, so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp. And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him in front of all his new friends. And so the interns find out that he's the awkward middle child of a circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know already, I'm sold. But you, of course, already knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy, meaty revenge?
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass and PC.
There it is. Lizette, Tim from Double Fine, thank you so much. And you know what? Extend a huge congratulations to everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
Thank you so much. We're very excited.
Thank you.
And you can catch more of Tim Schafer and ask him those burning questions about the newest game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox Play stream tomorrow. But first, we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets in this supremely satisfying 4K 60 trailer for the gunk.
I don't like this weather. I'm pretty sure the ship's insurance won't cover alien storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
The gunk's eating everything here. This planet is literally a paradise when the gunk's gone. Please, Vex.
We have talked about so many incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a favorite, but let me just say, it is so cool that State of Decay 2 is expanding Trumbull Valley. Come on! And hey, you know what? Great job on that Flight Sim interview.
Oh, thank you. I mean, talking to Jorg is always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world. But I was staring daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim and Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you, be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well, I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays streams.
Yes, don't forget, Xbox Plays will recap all the week's news throughout the week at twitch.tv/Xbox, so make sure to check that out. Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that it has been our distinct pleasure to chat games and nerd out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job, for sure.
But we're far from done here.
Too true. Now, in June, Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2018's breakout hit open-world driving game Forza Horizon 4, arrives on November 9th on Xbox consoles, Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud, and of course, Steam.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel, switch over to our Xbox Twitch channel to see all this new exclusive content.
And that is twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if you're already watching on Twitch or one of the Forza channels, stay right where you are.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by November 9th when the standard edition of the game launches.
Charlie here, and I'm at Playground Games with Forza Horizon creative director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon art director Don Arcetta. Hello, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
How cool is this?
That is stunning. Look at that. Well, we obviously just saw a really cool video about it, and I'll be the first to say there is an amazing influence of Mexican car culture and music literally splayed right across the front. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. It just feels like it's a part of the Horizon Festival, like it's just dropped out of the game into your lap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
And there's so much we do want to show the fans, and it's been quite difficult to decide where to start. So can you maybe tell us a bit more about the game, Mike?
Sure, yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 is bringing the Horizon Festival's unique brand of fun and freedom to beautiful and vibrant Mexico. Players are going to set out across the largest, most diverse open world we've ever built in hundreds of the world's most beautiful and exciting cars.
Yeah, and people think that Mexico is just a desert or a beach, but there's so much more to it, isn't there?
That's right. Even though it does have pretty awesome beaches and a number of amazing deserts, it also has vast canyons, hidden temples, awesome, beautiful historic cities, and even a towering snow-capped volcano, the highest point we've ever had in a Horizon game.
So you've talked about how Forza Horizon 5 showcases powerful, all-new graphical features, but what more can you tell us about that?
So yeah, our Mexican HDR sky captures really illuminate the world to the point where you feel like you're really there. And thanks to the Xbox Series X and S, ray tracing is utilized in Forza Vista to really make our cars look more true to real life. You'll encounter the smallest of details as you travel throughout the world, all rendered in striking realism.
Oh, that's such an exciting overview. I cannot wait. And next up is something we know that Forza Horizon fans have definitely been waiting for the most. Mike, what exactly is that?
Yeah, that's right. We are about to reveal the cover of Forza Horizon 5, featuring the incredible Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. Should we take a look?
Let's do it, yeah. Now, those are two very different ways to explore Mexico. So what I want to know is why those two cars were chosen and what players can expect when they get behind the wheel.
Yeah, so those differences are exactly why we chose them. The Mercedes AMG 1 marks the first time a car features Formula One hybrid technology almost one-to-one from track to the street. And with the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, that's primed for rugged off-roading across Mexico's vast terrain.
And I'm certain people can't wait to see more of what these cars can do in the game, so I don't think we should keep them waiting any longer. Mike, can you tell us about what we're about to see next?
Yes, so in a few moments' time, we'll be kicking off a Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream, and everybody should check that out for a big deep dive into loads of new content and features from Forza Horizon 5. But before that, we have 8 minutes of brand new gameplay where we're going to see both the Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. And in typical Horizon fashion, we are going to see active volcanoes, cars jumping out of cargo planes, and a race under beautiful Mexican skies all the way to the Horizon Festival. Should we check it out?
I think we should.
Here we take control of the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, atop of the towering, snow-capped Gran Caldera volcano.
See you on the other side! Traffic ahead. Watch out for that. way! Drop zone approaching! Lovely day for a drive!
So now we see the 2020 Corvette Stingray tearing up the asphalt towards a dust storm in the Mexican farmland.
Outtrack the storm! No sigue adelante! Keep going! Okay! There's no other way around! We've got to go through it! Woo! For the eye of the storm! Okay, on my mark. 5, 4. 4 now, that's fine. This could get a little rough. Touchdown! Not even a scratch. The jungle awaits.
Next up is the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, crashing through the dense jungle tree canopy.
Flamingos! I'll swing back round and guide you through the bridge. ¡Qué maravilla! You're not gonna believe your eyes when you see this. Keep going. This is the final drop. The whole festival is waiting. Go, go, go! What do you say? First to the festival wins? Vámonos!
And on the final leg, we have the stunning Mercedes AMG 1 at full speed across Mexico's sun-baked rocky coast.
Horizon, this is Mexico. We've already had cars falling out of the sky, but all eyes are on the superstar making their way to the festival right now. then you are in for a treat, my friend. Get ready for the biggest Horizon adventure of your life. Did you hear that? Well, that is the last inbound cargo flight, racing neck and neck with an AMG-1.
Gamescom hasn't officially kicked off yet, but of course Microsoft decided to get the party started a little early with that Xbox showcase. There is plenty to unpack from that. We had, about 80 minutes worth of content there, almost 90. So, joining me to talk about that very Xbox game showcase are Destin Legary and our friend Cam Hawkins. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, we came out of that a little unexpectedly. We thought maybe it would go the full 90 minutes there once it blew past the hour, but they surprised us a little bit. But I want to start, of course, with overall reactions. So I went on our E3 live post show. I thought E3 was the best showcase Microsoft has ever done. It was tight. It was full of amazing games. It was well paced. This, I did not feel the same way about. I thought they fell back into a lot of their old bad habits of just airing things out for segments for way too long for the littlest things like, with all due respect, In Exile's Wasteland DLC, things like this. I thought this could have been a lot shorter, but there was still good stuff. So before we get into that, the sort of deeper dive criticisms and the good things, Cam, let me go your way first here. Your overall thoughts.
Yeah, I gotta echo a lot of what you said. This show should have been 45 minutes to an hour max. They deep dived on games that, while I understand they're first party titles, I feel like as someone who plays niche games, they're games under their first party lineup that are more niche, that have smaller communities that I know want to see the love given to them, but just the amount of content that they were being presented with, it just didn't justify a 5 to 10 minute developer interview on it. And I think that while we saw other games that got just a short trailer, a little bit of general panning cameras showing the environments and things like that, and a little bit of gameplay, but that was the game where I was like, okay, where is the deep dive on this game? And so again, there were some things that were great to look at in this showcase, but overall, mixed feelings.
Yeah, Destin, I know we were talking while the show was going. No, we're not just complaining for the sake of complaining. There were some games that have been advertised for a long time, including recently as 2021 titles exclusive to Xbox, that we still did not see here. We thought for sure this would be the time we'd finally see them.
Yeah, little titles like Halo Infinite that weren't shown whatsoever, or other games that I haven't forgotten about: Bright Memory Infinite, Crossfire X, and Scorn. And you brought up a few that you've been sort of waiting to see. I am glad that we got to see a little bit more about the Gunk, because that is one title that is, going to be for a younger demographic, but I'm actually quite excited for. And it was really weird. Like, Forza looks great, but Psychonauts 2 comes out tomorrow, and they dedicated a large portion of the show to discussing a game that's basically available right around the bend, right?
Well, that one I would defend them on, because it is a big first-party release, and it's a game that, let's be honest, Psychonauts 1 was a cult classic, and Psychonauts 2, you saw it yesterday, got incredible reviews. When I looked at the end of the day, it was an 87 on Metacritic. So I don't blame them at all, trying to get the word out on the sequel to this cult classic. It's their first big release for Double Fine since Microsoft acquired them. So I can forgive that one for sure. But yeah, you mentioned some big ones: Crossfire X, Bright Memory Infinite, Scorn. I want to throw out Exomecha was one that had jumped out at previous showcases too. That's sort of that kind of Halo-y sci-fi shooter. And then the one that I was really hoping to see more of and get ideally a release date for is Echo Generation, which is that voxel adventure game that definitely jumped out to me at other Xbox showcases. But let's get to some good stuff, because there, as you said, Destin, there was plenty to like, and we're going to get deeper into some of these later on, because by the way, we're here for an hour. We're joining it for an hour, so it's a regular full episode of Podcast Unlocked. We're just doing it live, as Bill O'Reilly would say. So let's start with the good stuff. I want to throw to Cam first on a game called Signalis.
Yeah, so Signalis was one of the games
Thank y'all so much for joining. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't think I heard anything I said then. Like, there's a few games that's coming out this September. This August. That I talked about. It's a lot of stuff. Psychonauts is coming out on the 25th, and too. So that's about it. Everything else, it's not a big deal. Everything now they can wait. Get on to that later on. We'll go from there next time. I will see y'all in a minute because today we're gonna finish up on Beyond Trek at 8:30 p.m. Oh my goodness, will you please stop ringing? Jeez. Now, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna be doing. That's it. That's everything. That's everything. Just go there. All right, so I think that's gonna be too loud. All right, cool. So back to what I was saying. I will see y'all later on today. I don't know. I guess something I might announce between if they give us any more information to talk about. We'll present it and bring it up again later on today. I don't mind doing it. But I think that's everything right there. I will see y'all tonight around 8:30 p.m. on Beyond Trek, on Trek Radio Official on Twitch. That's where I'll be at. We're gonna be playing part 2 of 12 minutes. I'll be playing that tonight on there. So yeah. I'd love to play freaking Forza Horizon 5 would be nice. I don't mind playing that at all. But I will see y'all. Thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate y'all. Take care. Okay. I will see y'all later on. Alright. Fuck off. Man. Thank you very much for joining. Appreciate it. See y'all again. Let me know when you get on. Thank you very much, Daddy. What's his name? Daddy Dio TTV. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Number 2. I really do appreciate it. And everyone else. Thank you, Brian, for coming up. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, that's it. Everything else. Yeah, that's about it. Anything else? I'll see you on social media. I'll let you know when I'm starting or streaming on that stream. Normal. Alright, continue Step Your Real Game Up. I'm your host, Anthony, aka Cam. Continue fighting with us one stream at a time. Love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out. Peace.